I'm Chris, you're watching FRAG-MENTAL, thanks for joining me. Sadly, I'm talking to you about another discontinued fragrance today, which seems to be a bit of a theme in my last couple of videos. ARAMIS Tobacco Reserve is a fragrance that gets a lot of hype. I haven't smelled it, I haven't tried it, I have managed to buy a bottle, so I'm going to unbox it and give you my first impressions in this video. The place I bought this from, I just checked, as of making this video, it is still available. So if you live in the UK and you want to know where you can still pick this one up, stay tuned to FM. People have been recommending this fragrance to me for years. I make it very clear here on my channel that I love the note of tobacco. It's my favourite note in perfumery. So people are always giving me recommendations of tobacco fragrances that they love and that they enjoy, and particularly ones that are good value. And this one certainly is good value. I ended up paying full retail for this, but even at full retail, it's not that high a cost anyway. I don't know why I haven't picked it up before now. I think I just thought, well, I'll see a good deal on it at some point, so I'll pick it up. I thought maybe I'll smell it in store and have a try, and then maybe decide if I want to buy it cheap online, but I kind of just never got round to it. I finally bought this. I haven't smelled this yet, so I'm going to unbox this and give you my first impressions. And stay tuned till the end of the video, because the place I bought this from here in the UK, I have just checked, it is still available in both the 60ml and the 110ml. So at the end of the video, I will reveal where in the UK I purchased this fragrance from, and if it sounds like something that you'd like to buy, or something that you've been thinking about buying for a while and you're a bit worried now that you might not get a bottle unless you pay a lot of money on eBay for people selling it, because obviously the prices are going to rocket up when something gets discontinued. So at the end of the video, I'll let you know where you can still buy this one from. All right, so let's unwrap this thing and have a spray. I don't really know what I'm expecting from this. I have seen a few reviews. I don't think it's going to be the sweet, indulgent, gourmandish tobacco fragrance that I thought it might be. Looking at the name, the first time I was aware of this fragrance. We'll see. I associate ARAMIS with more mature fragrances. To be honest, I haven't smelled that many ARAMIS fragrances. Maybe I'm just associating the name with a slightly mature, maybe even dated smell, because the name has been around for a while. And I think the packaging and I think the bottles look a bit old school as well. They look like an old school fragrance. But Tobacco Reserve isn't an old scent. I think it's been around for a few years. It's not been around for a long time. It's certainly not one of those that's been around since the 60s or something like that. So I don't really know what to expect, but I'm going to reveal it to you now. Now, the bottles, they're fine, you know, they're all right. They're simple. I don't think they look cheap, but I don't think they look gaudy or anything like that. They're fine. It's not a presentation I look at and go, wow, but you know, it's absolutely fine. It's just a glass bottle with a plastic cap and a pretty nice sticker on the front. But we don't care about the presentation on this one. I just want to know how it smells. So I am going to spray this now, give you my first impressions, let you know what I get from it, and then I'm going to turn the camera off for a couple of hours, come back and report on the dry down and finish off my kind of first impressions of this fragrance. So we'll give it a spray on skin, and see what we get. Okay, this is good. This is very good. Ooh, I'm reminded of tobacco vanille a little bit, just in the air. I'll go into skin, and yeah, not so much on skin. Actually, it smells greener and a bit smokier on the skin, which is interesting, but just in the air, I was definitely getting a tobacco that reminds me of the type of tobacco in tobacco vanille. It doesn't smell exactly like that fragrance at all, far from it, but I'm just getting that kind of vibe with it. So I would say it probably leans a little more mature. I don't think this is a young, clubbing fragrance. I think this is a very refined, very classy, masculine type of fragrance. There's some greenness there, I think, rather than it being this I describe it as like a wet tobacco that you often find with very sweet notes, maybe with honey, maybe with vanilla and resinous notes. But this is drier. I would describe this as a dry tobacco, like a greener tobacco. It's definitely not, it is a prominent note in the fragrance, but it's definitely not too dominant. It's definitely not too overbearing. It's got a lightness to it. It's very classy smelling fragrance, actually. Very warming type of scent, but there's a brightness to it, which is nice. I thought maybe it would go a little darker. I thought maybe it'd be a bit sweeter, a bit darker, but it's not that type of scent. I think this would be a great autumn fragrance, and you could definitely wear it through the winter, probably in the spring as well. Okay, I'm really enjoying that. I'm really enjoying. I'm glad I've got this. I'm glad I've bought this fragrance. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go away for a couple of hours, turn the camera off, have a cup of tea, and then I'll come back and give you my final thoughts on Tobacco Reserve. But so far, first impressions right now, really liking it. Okay, I'm back. I've been aimlessly wandering around the house for 2 hours just so I can test this fragrance, and I have to say it's been a very enjoyable 2 hours. This is a great fragrance. It definitely deserves the hype. I wish I'd picked it up earlier when I could maybe have got it a little bit cheaper. So I would say that when it dries down a little bit, I lose some of that greenness, that slight freshness that it has in the opening, which is very nice in the opening, but that does seem to dissipate a little bit, and I really get the warmth coming through, the woody warmth. And I wouldn't say that the tobacco is the type of tobacco where you open a tin, imagine a tin of dried tobacco, and you open it and you smell it. So you don't get that intense, really resinous tobacco, but more a kind of pipe tobacco. It reminds me of when my granddad used to smoke a pipe, and maybe you were outside somewhere and you were doing something else, and every now and then you would get a waft from his pipe smoke just coming over, just almost faintly but very detectable, and it would be this warm, sweet, very comforting smell. So the tobacco reminds me of that. It's not this hard hit of, you know, intense, rich, resinous tobacco. It's a gentle tobacco accord, but it's there nonetheless, and it remains there certainly throughout 2 hours of wearing it, and I suspect it will be there for the life of the fragrance, you know, kind of 6, 7, 8 hours into it. So that's the type of tobacco note I get. I also found that as it dried down, the orris started to come out in this, so it reminded me of other orris fragrances that have more of like a buttery orris, like, you know, an orris butter rather than iris, you know, the typical iris smell. It's not that, it's more of a slightly earthy orris butter type of smell to me, but not overbearing. It's just there in the background, and it's giving a nice bit of punch to the fragrance. So I think the orris is actually giving more backbone in the dry down than the tobacco is. So overall, I would say that it does smell a little old school, but not dated at all. I think from the ages of, you know, maybe 25, 30, somewhere around there. It really depends on the individual, but I think it's not a juvenile, going out, having a good time, young person's type of fragrance that you want a fragrance that cuts through the air of a nightclub and gets the compliments and gets noticed. It's not that type of fragrance. It's the fragrance that you maybe would put on for some kind of occasion. Perhaps you dressed up smartly. No, you don't have to. You could wear this anytime. Actually, it is that type of scent. You could wear it as a daytime scent very easily. But I just think it is a bit more of a refined gentleman's type of fragrance. The tonka bean in here seems to add this modern day sweetness to the fragrance, so you get this lovely kind of modern day aspect to it, as well as the slightly kind of old school side to the fragrance. So it's a fragrance of two halves really, and I think there's a big place for those types of fragrances. It's not dated, it's not old manish, it's not granddadish at all. It's something that I'm really looking forward to wearing. I'm really glad that I've got this. Okay, now that's how it smells to me. I'm going to tell you where I bought this from. And as of today, I'm filming this on Tuesday, the 20th of October. I checked on the website that I purchased this from. It is still available in both the 60ml size, which is this one, and the 110ml size. I paid £55 for this, and the 110ml is £74, so that's full retail. Prices, now it's discontinued, will go up. You will still be able to buy this in Facebook groups, on eBay. A few shops here and there may still have some stock left over where you will find it at retail, but the retail price of this is, I paid £55. Now, I had a gift card given to me months ago, which I hadn't used, for this particular store for £35. So I basically got this for 20 quid. So kind of full retail, but I didn't pay full retail, if you see what I mean. So I'm happy that I got this for £20. Right, the place where I got it from, here in the UK, I don't know if they ship internationally, probably not, but if you're in the UK, you can use this place, and it's somewhere that you wouldn't think to go and buy fragrances. I don't even know if this came up in a Google search actually, which is maybe why they've still got stock. So this store is known more for its clothing and for its own fragrances. I'm talking about Next. So the website is next.co.uk. I only looked there because I had a voucher and I thought, well, if they've got it there, I can use my gift card. So it's still in stock. As of today, Tuesday 20th of October, it's still in stock at Next. So if you feel like you want to pick this one up, then you can still buy it there. It is still available on some websites, like I say, but it will be going soon. As soon as a fragrance gets discontinued, people buy it. People like me are suddenly not afraid to buy full retail anymore, because they know that if they did want it in the future, they'd be paying higher prices, perhaps on eBay. So it is still there after this video. If enough of you want it, I don't know how long it's gonna be there. You know, we may clean Next out of all their supplies, but it is still there as of right now. So really good fragrance. I'm looking forward to wearing this, particularly through the autumn. I think this is going to be a great season for it. Let me know if you have this. Let me know how cheap you got. Do I want to know that? Do I want to know how cheap you got it for? Yeah, you may as well. Let me know how cheap you managed to pick it up for, and you know, do you like it? Do you think it's worth the hype? And do you think it shouldn't be discontinued? So there it is, ARAMIS Tobacco Reserve. I hope you enjoyed this first impressions and slightly kind of second impressions as well, and good luck if you wanted to pick this one up, but don't sleep on it if you really want it. It is still available. Get it while you can. All right, so there we go. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching. Remember, keep tuning into FM, keep smelling good, and I'll see you in the next one.